the green arrow. You mustn't fire that arrow, GA. You can't. It will kill you. In the course of their careers, the Green Arrow and Speedy have invented many unusual arrows in the secret confines of their arrow cave. Yet, 3 of those arrows have been safely locked away from the world. Why? And why now should they be removed from their vault when their very presence perils the great archer who fires them? Surprise follows surprise when, for the first time, Crimeland sees unleashed the world's 3 most dangerous arrows. It's none other than Oliver Queen and his ward, young Roy Harper, who lead the annual community X-Ray Drive. The program's a success, Roy. More people have turned out this year than ever before. Abruptly, a brand new watch my club gave me as a gift, and I've broken it. Well, we'll drop it off to be repaired later on. That evening, with the incident forgotten, the two switch to their secret identities as a flaming green arrow streaks high above the city. Come on, there's our signal from headquarters. We've got to change to the Green Arrow and Speedy. As the sleek arrow car roars from its hiding place, hear that radio report? 2 crooks boarded a plane that landed with a cargo of gems and escaped with the jewels before they could be stopped, and got away in one of the airport's emergency trucks. Transnational Airlines Emergency. Speedy, look, we're in luck. The stolen getaway truck. As the arrow car comes to a halt, the archers release its secret catapult lever and are projected into space. Green Arrow and the kid, when they land on the truck, jam the brakes. It'll pitch them off. Okay, now. Look out, GA! Though hurled to the street, the Emerald Archer's famed bow unleashes an incredible shaft. Smoke arrows! We can't see to drive! While from atop the cab, Speedy's bow twangs twice and... Next, the boxing glove arrows. Later, with the crooks in custody. Hey, your ribs were hurt from the fall, GA. You'd better have them x-rayed. That's not a bad suggestion, officer. I'll do that tonight. The next day, at the hospital. The x-rays we took last night revealed your ribs were all right. But today, we noticed something else on the negative. A radium burn in a vital part of your body. I know I can speak frankly to you, Green Arrow. The spot is a tiny one, but deadly. There is no known cure. We can offer no hope. How much time do I have, Doc? The damage takes effect quickly. A month, maybe more, but that's about it. Then, when the stunned bowmen return home. But this can't happen, GA. It just can't. What will we do? Do? I just don't know. No, wait. We must go to the Arrow Cave. There is something I have to do. In the stillness of the secret Arrow Cave, the famed archer pushes a button and a wall slides back with a whispering sound. But that's safe, is where we keep the deadliest arrows in the world. Yes, deadly for anyone who fires them. But now, at last, we're going to remove them. Danger, never remove contents of this safe green arrow. Presently, 3 unusual arrows, which we invented but never fully perfected. The electronic arrow, the satellite arrow, and the super boomerang arrow. Each performs wonders, yet each can destroy the man who fires it. Yes, the electronic arrow, when fired, sets up a small electrical storm near the bow and can be fatal unless atmospheric conditions are just right. And the satellite arrow emits a jet stream that can kill the archer behind the bow that releases it. The super boomerang arrow returns toward the bow after its work is done and flies so swiftly that you can't avoid being hit by it. I didn't want to risk firing these arrows until we had ironed out all those wrinkles, but there is nothing to fear now. I'm going to die anyway. Wait, GA, the flaming green arrow again. Our signal. Then when headquarters is tuned in.
Good news, GA. The best you've ever heard. There was a mix-up on the X-ray plates. The plate with the radium spot is not yours.
Not mine. Thank heavens. Then I don't have to risk my life with the deadly arrows.
But you might help us by contacting the man who really has the radium spot. He is Oliver Queen.
Oliver Queen. They'll never guess the irony of this. Never guess that I am Oliver Queen. But why didn't the spot show up in your X-ray? We know that Oliver Queen and GA would have the exact same plates. They X-rayed only the region around my ribs, where I was bruised from the fall. The spot is not in that area, and so it didn't show up. I'm back to where I was before. I'll experiment with each of those 3 dangerous arrows, any one of which can end my life. At this moment, across town, at the spectacular goldsmith's exhibit, a rainbow with a pot of gold at the end. Is the gold real? I'm afraid the Goldsmith Society wouldn't use anything else. And it even rains gold here. Once a day we drop medals, souvenirs for our guests. Abruptly, from above, 4 sinister figures descend through the skylight. Okay, we make our move. The unsuspecting driver is quickly subdued, but not before he presses an unseen button which transmits an alarm to police headquarters. Not a peep buster. We're going after the big haul. Ha! I always did want to find a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. Instantly, the police signal the battling bowmen in arrow flare code. At the goldsmith's exhibit, this may be my chance to test the forbidden arrows under fire. Suddenly, those blasted archers are here. Hurry, back to the skylight. We'll have to get away with what we've got. From a seated position, the battling bowman fits the dangerous electronic arrow into his bow, and we've got to stop them from getting the gold out. And this arrow can do it. Only trouble is, I've got to avoid a small but deadly electric storm that's set up when it's released. With the twanging of the bow, the arrow takes to flight. It was impossible to get out of the way in time, but my rubber soles insulated me from the shock. Now to see if my hunch pays off. True to the lawman's instinct, the unusual arrow flashes past the monorail train and sends off crackling but harmless bolts. Hey, look at that arrow! What's happening? We've stopped. The bolts are harmless to the outlaws, yes, but they blew out the electrical circuit so that the car can't move. Stymied, the crooks flee empty-handed through the skylight, and right after that, they've separated and are gone. We'll know the position of each one of them as soon as I launch the satellite arrow. But if its jet stream hits me, I'm a goner. Quickly fixing his bow to the rung of a telephone pole, the green arrow attaches a stout string to the bowstring, hooks it under another rung, then, this is a new one, firing by remote control. But at least it keeps you away from the deadly jet stream. Following a blast, the satellite arrow roars off. The satellite contains a tiny TV camera. The pictures are telecast back to us. At a controlled height, the amazing arrow forms an orbit and commences circling over the building. And all the scenes are registered on this tiny screen. There are two of them around the corner, waiting to ambush us. And as the ingenious arrow continues in its flight, there are the other two waiting on the next street. All right, now for the super boomerang arrow. It'll first go around the corner, then loop and head for the getaway car. Yes, but then it returns to you with supersonic speed. There may be no time to duck. The uncanny arrow speeds around the corner, knocking the guns from the hands of the lurking thugs, then makes a looping arch.
Jesus, did you see that?
Yeah, but what kind of arrow is it? Gaining even more speed, the missile follows an errorless course, sweeping past the other two crooks.
What on earth?
Hardly 2 seconds have passed since the arrow left the bow, and now it returns at a blinding speed. Down, Speedy. I've only got one chance. It'll have to be destroyed with an explosive arrow. And when the two collide in midair, not a split second too soon. In short moments after the police arrive. Hey, good work, GA. And we're glad we found you. The lab showed that the radium spot, though realistic in appearance, was merely some that rubbed off the radium dial of a watch. So you can tell Oliver Queen that he's perfectly all right. Hey, what's wrong? Just a little too much excitement, I suppose. Don't miss a new adventure of Green Arrow in the June issue of Action Comics, on sale next week.